Welcome back to another chapter of Mortal Kombat, The Return of the Dragon King. Last time, we actually took care of Noob Saibot. We had a little detour I had to make as Kuai Liang and Serena headed into the Netherrealm while Frost and Smoke stayed in Outworld to stand by with Onaga and his followers. But the main plot was to encounter Noob Saibot, and because Serena knew where his brother was and Kuai Liang was indeed shocked about it, he turned corrupt. And it turned out that his predictions were true, that the person he was chasing after in Shaolin monks was actually his brother as his darker self, and Serena led him to it. So they actually fought him off, but it wasn't the Elder Gods, it was Quan Chi and the Brotherhood of Shadow. And Serena was once a part of it, much to Kuai's dismay. But she tried to help him, but he was too powerful until Ashura came along, and she wiped him out seamlessly, which allowed her the chance to finally ascend from the Netherrealm. And the duo went with her, and they wound up in Earthrealm, and Raiden actually assigned Ashura to defend the Temple of Elements from their prisoner Johnny Cage, who was still corrupt, while Sub-Zero and Serena went into Outworld to meet up with Thomas and Frost. So, let's get this thing going. Alright, continuation 9, Declaration. Back at the Outworld Rune, Smoke and Frost were still anxiously waiting for Kuai's and Serena's return from the Netherrealm, where they had a pep talk with Nightwolf. He was empowering his soul weapons as green incest rose from the bonfire while his tools ignited the same shade. Kiba was still inside his malevolent vessel. Frost grew worried of his welfare, as if losing Kuai wasn't bad enough. Nightwolf, that Sin Eater ritual, would that actually consume you, or would you be lost spiritually? He wasn't fazed by her worries as he responded, If Onaga should war against the champions, and if they shall be successful, he'd be weak enough for me to bind his spirit into the underworld for eternity. Think of it as a sort of devil's trap, like in Supernatural, before the invasion near the Temple of Light. So, we got a flashback scene here from Conquest. Shujinko's journey. This is actually part 2 of Earthrealm, his journey in Earthrealm. And I think this takes place after you get the Chaos Realm Kamidogu. Yeah, I believe so. Either that or the Netherrealm. But, yeah, in the Netherrealm, Nightwolf was there to remove the taint from Shujinko's soul, like Onaga mentioned, and this disallowed him to travel to other realms with that taint removed, and it took years to do it. So, it was hard putting 2 and 2 together, especially with Defenders of the Realm, because I had this idea that Nightwolf was interested in higher learning. He wanted to go above and beyond his tribe, thus going into advanced learning, becoming a tech geek, thus the gadgets and all that, dragon jets. So think of it as like 2 and 2, you know? I thought Nightwolf as a tech geek was pretty cool in Defenders of the Realm. I know he's supposed to be like a Native American, but like I said, I want him to go above and beyond. And there's the Conquest training. I am grateful for what you have done for me, Nightwolf. I wish you luck on your journeys. You were always welcome in the lands of my forefathers. Alright, here we go. It wasn't long before my people realized I was training for higher education. I was then disgusted after that. Luckily, it was around that time I had Kiba by my side. It wasn't easy to stay away from the dorms, as I only studied in my own camp. Then, I graduated early, top of my class, by the time the first tournament began, and Raiden enlisted my help. For several restless moons, I'd been receiving vision after haunting vision of the Dragon King. I figure if I can just absorb souls from Onaga's army... How convenient! Onaga's army is gathering as we speak. Baraka! The Tarkatan just rose a hand. Fear not, mortals. I do not wish to attack you. I am the time-displaced predator of Outworld. I noticed my past vessel isn't as sanitary as I am. As we speak, my better half is rallying up my kind's deadliest warriors to serve Onaga and have him reign supreme. He is unlike Shao Kahn. I should know since I worked for both factions, as Onaga is a ruler of order, and his followers are all so submissive. Hardly any objection, as if functioning with only one mind. That's the one who helped us against the Deadly Alliance, Thomas. You were willing to turn on your own race? Help me here. Well, it's not every day the Lin Kuei are willing to turn against cyber conversion. That shut 'em up. Anarchic fools! They'd rather work for and depend on a power-hungry tyrant, and satiate their bloodlust. They fend for themselves like those pitiful Saurians. Contrary to those times when we worked for Khan by invading the city of Lichen, soon Edenia, and the Wuxi Academy, to which I regret. Tarkatans always have an essential sense of smell, and with that rancid odor, I'd encountered Onaga taking the form of a Saurian. I soon realized it belonged to my comrade, Reptile. When I was time-displaced by Khan's new reign, I knew my friend would be in trouble. I spotted the shattered egg recently at the lava shrine, before I caught up with Kung Lao and that wind god at the Quaitan jungle. The possessed human with dark glasses and several decaying archers were brought to my attention. The trio wondered how Onaga would take someone else's vessel, not his own. Baraka stated his original corpse was destroyed by the Edenians at the Lost Pyramid. Yeah, he found it too. He was reformed and hatched from the egg incubated by his ancient sect. Knowing he was barred by Edenia, Baraka broke his boundaries, alerting the army's advancement through either Earthrealm or the Hapless Kingdom first. Their battalion, consisting of some Shokan, Centaur, and Saurian warriors, shall strike back. If I'm correct, Onaga should have a few infested cronies along with the treacherous clan, and supposedly the Realm of Order as well. We have to get Sub-Zero and Serena back. I can't agree with you, Frost. I can't agree with you more. At the prison ditch in the elemental temple, Johnny's limp body suddenly shot up and became stiff, as if he just picked up something like a dog with a potent scent. The broken frames of his $500 sunglasses, hint hint, fell off as irises gleamed. He snarled as he rose and gazed around his confinement. He backed up to the steep wall and began to climb. Then went all erratic as he made a successful attempt climbing out, utilizing the high walls like a predator clawing up, almost as if his fingertips were gripping the ridges precisely before he leapt out. The Edenian knights were on high alert as they stormed toward the intruder who miraculously escaped. But due to his quick reflexes and monstrous strength, they were unable to subdue him. One of the wounded elites shouted in Edenian, "There's an intruder!" after the final artifact. An adjacent chamber, Sindel Jade Katana picked up the warning, but before the Queen had a chance to alert non-Edenian colleagues, the irate revenant was bashing through the locked metal door and the crowd. He even tossed Sindel aside like an unwanted toy. Even Katana and Jade were unable to pin him down. Not even Aiko could capture him, and Cage's heart was too venomous for her to steal, as it slipped away like a slippery eel. Some of the knights continued the chase, while others murmured and became complacent he won't find Shinnok's amulet in the labyrinth. We all know how hard that was. Katana paused. She was hardly audible. Johnny hesitated. The onlookers noticed that his head was squealing in agony. Actually, Katana just received the Edenian ritual, the spell, the chant to reverse Onaga's effects, but it didn't turn out well. If he gets to the amulet... grunt. If he gets to the amulet, Onaga might sense it and transport him to... Cage boldly halted, then collapsed. As the onlookers closed in, they noticed he was ambushed by an impatient Ashra and stabbed him with her thrown kriss. All right! The crafty undead scowled. You'll never stop the almighty will of Onaga! We can try, Johnny. Aloft her butt, Holy Might was eventually too much for Johnny to resist. He was being sizzled and immobilized. Footmen held him down. He became unconscious. Sindel congratulated them. That bastard must have had a hive mind despite me compromising his equipment. More of Onaga's followers must be marching toward the temple from Outworld. I'll round up the settlers who are willing to fight, and perhaps purify the remaining revenants, Sonya and Jax. They received quizzical looks. Raiden told her as she broke free from the nether realm. She even cussed backwards. She was in remorse for training Shijinko and letting him be stronger than her, as she would have broken free sooner if she had the chance to slay Ermac. Technically, he's not a demon, but whatever. The sound of his name Jade's memory was tugged, having a flashback, as did Sindel, when the former was defeated by Shijinko surrendering the Outworld Kamidogu, and the latter giving the Edenia treasure to him to keep away from Khan. It seems you ladies aren't the only ones who have disdain with him after all. Can the pity parties! We got trouble! Oh man, Sundo! The village of Sundo, it's being destroyed! This village is being destroyed, man! How dare you! How dare you take the most primitive village and destroy it! This is why I hate the Revenants so much. Reveal the location of Shinnok's amulet, or pay with your life. Damn it, Jax. Simple remained silent. He was killed anyway. Not even the general shown any relent, as she became a brutal bruiser. Sonya! And they led the Tarkatan horde. The former special forces turned out to be the dragon's most lethal enforcers. Everyone was finished in the deserted settlement. The despotics bowed to the emerging serpent. Some even kneeled. I hope I do the dragons... Oh, it's Jax. Those pitiful Sundonians! They deserve to waste their feeble lives. They couldn't have been spared if they could squawk the location of the final piece to victory. So, courtesy of our Edenian servants, I have already the incantations needed to unite all the Oh wait, is that Onaga? Yeah, I think it is. Courtesy of our Edenian servants, I've already the incantations needed to unite all the Kamidogu into the ultimate weapon that will conquer the Elder Gods, just as the one being failed to occur during Genesis. That primitive village wasn't as promising as containing the secrets of the Solnado. Perhaps the mighty kingdom of Edenia would be most convenient, with the Anarch Shao Kahn non-existent. The two undead froze. We received intel from Johnny, Lord Onaga. And that is? The Temple of Elements is northern China. I'll see if I can operate a portal upon its coordinates. Please do, sweet pawn. We still must thrash the resistance of Edenia. They would surely drive us back. A fair strategy, imperialist of order. Uh-oh. It was Hotaru! Not good. Like, seriously, how can this so-called holy man, like, serve the undead and an evil dragon? Like, he is literally obsessed with order. He doesn't see anything wrong with this. My longtime associate Hotaru, my champion from Saito, the heart of the Order Realm. He knelt. I am humbled of your presence, Lord Onaga. It has been too long of several millennia. For eons, my followers and I had been awaiting your return. Much obliged, keeper of powerful harmony. Soon all of Outworld and the realms shall tremble and bend to our insatiable will. I must first find the answers for the final piece of the Kamidogu in the jewel of the cosmos, Earth Realm. That elderly fuck Shijinko only gathered the majority of those sacred artifacts. We will cross the barren plain en route to Edenia, and use force onto the putrid palace, and anyone who dared to be a threat. Sonia and I will download the intel when ready. Once we have the coordinates of the Temple of Elements, we'll contact you. Excellent! We will thrive at tomorrow's dawn. The reign of Onaga will soon begin. All his troops roared in triumph as they raised their blades and fists into the brisk evening air. This is not good. Soon enough, it was daybreak. There was the coral sky. The Edenian cavalry arose as the numerous watchful eyes pierced through like beacons within the opaque vegetation, even those from atop of the 15-story trees. Yeah, they still have a few from the living forest. Hopefully I'll highlight the purified forest with the smiley trees. Those vile intruders are here! Baraka snarled. Nightwolf, Frost, and Smoke were geared. Frost whimpered to the Elder Gods for Quiet and Serena to hurry. To the shaman, it was like deja vu as the forces of Outworld united against Shinnok and Quan Chi just a year ago, in Shinnok's uprising. Still, I must prepare for the Sin Eater ritual. Let these treacherous bastards come, as well as Sonya and Jax. They were our compatriots that became corrupt by Onaga's infectious influence upon death. Baraka was disgusted. I know firsthand. A reinforcement shall be at the ready, and I wish to cut my double down to size. It wasn't long nor easy as the dragon militia came across every rigged trap. The Saurians made a preemptive strike. They covered their enemies with acid. They activated lethal limbs and lethal forest needles courtesy of the remaining monstrous trees. Onaga, Sonya, Jax, and Hotaru often took the front lines and disabled some of the traps. The group consisting of the Edenian dwellers and the Raptors' associates, the Chameleons, won't give up without a fight. What do you know? We got the Chameleons in the front lines. They're leading the ambush. Awesome. The ravenous wild Tarkatans rushed into the livid terrain, breaking off any strategies of cover from both sides, like they did before. So, the Tarkatans were the reinforcements for Onaga, and the living forests around the frontier were both littered with blood and several bodies. Oh man, they declared war. My kind aren't so reliable. I always recall them rushing into battle without a proper plan nor contingency. They will be so damn unquenchable and reckless. Ain't that happened before in the Netherrealm War? No cobalt armor. No wonder Baraka actually lost to Quan Chi despite him having the amulet. Oy, Kwai and Serena emerged. Alright. Thank the Elder Gods you're here. Well, never mind the love scene, Ice Princess. Onaga's saints are marching in. When the saints are marching in. Get it? Alright, he was worried what the doppelganger can be among their ranks. Crossed his arm blades, ready to slice some fresh meat, never wavering on turning against his own clan as what he did against the Deadly Alliance. Now all we need are Sonya and Jax! I think my partner Ashra can help in that regard. Well, thank goodness. At the Nexus, Lao, Lu, Hanzo, and Ermac ran through the Earthrealm portal. The realm between realms was in deathly silence. They slowly approached the altar. The Shira Ryu warrior perked up and stated to the champion of Earthrealm, Kung Lao, remember that cunning stunt you attempted to making on stealing the Kamidogu? Liu Kang's spirit did just that. Ah, do it! Lao, astonished by his shenanigans from before, and Hanzo stopped him. Yes, this could bring back Onaga's attention to us. As long as he has the Kamidogu reunited, he's merely unstoppable. But divided, he will fall. He was hesitant. He took the large pendant, took the Earthrealm relic quickly with a snatch with one strong hand. To his surprise, he wasn't harmed, nor shocked by it. Lao saw the elder Shujinko. Aw, man, he's having another hallucination. And, as we all know, if you guys know Deception, this is the end of the Conquest mode. This is Onaga's inception, right here. I may have to play this. Or not, no. Maybe I'll just play this. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I have defeated him. Now I am free to complete my quest. I do not understand. The Kamidogu should have been transported to the Elder Gods. Why is it not happening?
Because you have not completely finished the quest.
What are you?
Ah, yes. Familiar words. Perhaps this will help you to understand.
Damashi! What has he done to you? Let him go!
Shujinko, please save me. Old fool, Damashi does not exist. The avatar you see before you is merely a projection of my consciousness. I manipulated this astral puppet from beyond the boundaries of death, and in turn, manipulated you. I deceived you into bringing me the means of attaining ultimate mastery over reality.
So it seems that I have indeed known you all these years. Then by what name shall I call you now? Tell me who you really are, demon.
I am Onaga, the Dragon King of Outworld and soon-to-be ruler of all that exists. I must thank you for bringing me so much power. The Kamidogu are mine.
You may have them. They do nothing. You have wasted your time. Nothing happened when I placed them all on the altar.
Not all. If you had found the last piece, the altar would have transported them to the Elder Gods. But the last piece is currently in Outworld in the possession of a fool sorcerer. I will deal with him later. For now, I will take these artifacts you have so dutifully collected for me. I am afraid they will not make it into the hands of the Elder Gods after all. And so, Shujinko, your quest is done. Prepare for death.
The Dragon King has not emerged from the portal. Perhaps he has lost interest in pursuing me. More likely he has gone to Outworld and will confront the sorcerer who possesses the last remaining object. I have been a fool. Blinded by the lure of adventure, I have endangered the realms and betrayed the Elder Gods. The blame is mine alone. What have I done?
And Kung Lao saw it all, even the last words. Of course! Grandfather stated that Damashi isn't a name, but rather a word. Japanese for deception! I should have known, Hanzo growled. He then had a flashback of losing to the false prophet and regretting untraining Shijinko in the Netherrealm to restore his taint to make him travel in all realms, before he lost upon Onaga's emergence. As if reading their minds like Kenshi, Ermac recalled the Sato guards in Outworld, meeting him, then imprisoning him before the Soul Collector arrived near Shang's palace. He also noticed that the Generous One was saved by Dairu, during a riot he made against the fanatical Order Realmers. They all came to the conclusion that Damashi was Shijinko's guide for the fake quest that was orchestrated by using Onaga's consciousness due to his rotted corpse at the tomb. Everyone came to a head, and Ermac sent thousands of armies consisting of the Saurian Shogun, Centaurs, and Edenians, teaming up with Serena, Ashura, Frost, Smoke, Kwai, and Nightwolf to war against Onaga's followers in a bloody massacre. The war. It has begun. Everyone was in deep thought, worrying for the welfare of their compatriots. They grabbed each of the corresponding Kamidogu. They all heard a sort of whooshing noise that wasn't accompanied by wind. Kung Lao was frantic. Kung Lao, heads up! Following Liu Kang's warning, he jumped out of the way. You! Hand me over the Earthrealm Kamidogu, mortal! As if on cue, it began to brighten with his side pocket. Bring it to me! Lao just stood firm. Never, Onaga! I am not one of your bound zombie puppets. I will not let you govern all the realms. I refuse to surrender the last of the Kamidogu. In order to get to them, you must go through me. He drew on his feet and he declared, I am Kung Lao, the descendant of the great Kung Lao, the defender of Earth, and the champion of Mortal Kombat. Impressive, but it will be astronomical to overthrow me. I am Onaga, the supreme ruler of Outworld, and soon all of existence. Hand me over the Kamidogu, and show me the location of the amulet, and all will be spared. Run, Kung Lao! He took on Liu Kang's words, and he started to run. His mind raced when Lao was severely injured by the Dragon King, how he was immobilized by Raiden before he sacrificed himself, how his comrades fell one by one before he was warped away by Fujin. With all but 2 of the Kamidogu in Onaga's possession, he had no choice. Good, I'm almost done. Onaga snatched him in his vice grip, nearly crushing his fleshy vessel, before Liu Kang's fiery serpent intervened for a short while. Brother, hurry! Warn the other realms of Onaga's presence and keep away the Kamidogu! Go! Lao relied on his speed. He was close to his cattails by thermal energy, blindly running to the Nexus's outer portals. Okay, I just had to end the chapter there in a cliffhanger. I tried my best to portray the enemies as best as I could, since Sonya and Johnny weren't revenants before and Jax was, which was meh. And I figured the melee should be saved for the finale, even if Baraka should deal with his present double. Sonya? Oh, there's songs. You can pause here to rate it if you want. If not, if it's blurry, there's always the other platforms. Like the previous chapter, it certainly was a struggle, aside from dealing with insomnia. I wanted to wing this one, and may the last time Conquest would ever be included here. Besides, Shijinko's gone, the rest of the stuff is either non-canon or just optional and uninteresting. Sorry for the disappointment. I highly recommend Anonymous Affection if you want to know about Conquest. It certainly helped me a lot. I know I was going to lose interest eventually, and so the so-called timeline was so convoluted. I recommend MK Temple, but I wouldn't guarantee it. I actually made a summarization on the fanfiction wiki. So, see you all for the finale. So I'll see you guys later.